Hello and welcome back to another video from 55 degrees north and to part 22 of your fortnightly Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration update video. Coming up in this week's video, we'll be visiting all the usual sites including Pottery Lane and Pilgrim Place, among many others. Also this week, I have some news on the Northumberland Street pavement improvement works. So without further ado, let's dive right in and see what work has been done since the last video. So this week, starting down at Pottery Lane, at the site of the new apartment blocks, looking across from the Redgate Bridge so you can see how it is progressing, and looking right across the site they have made a lot of progress since 2 weeks ago, with the first block now being at floor 5 and the second block being at floor 3. Moving down onto Pottery Lane itself, the trench in front of building 1 has now been filled in, where they had been installing drainage. With the drone footage, you get a better look at building 2. As you can see, plenty of steel reinforcement has been laid, ready for the concrete to be poured. And looking at building 1, they're progressing towards floor 6, and moving between the two buildings, you can see the progress on the floors on both sides. And now, onto the new His Majesty's Revenue and Customs building. On the corner of John Dobson Street and Market Street, work on this part of the building is progressing, with a lot of new fascia and panels being installed on the corner. Also, Market Street is totally closed for about the next week or so, as they are starting to remove the cranes from the site. On John Dobson Street itself, there's been some work done around the bottom of the building, and looking through the gap, you can see lots of ducting and suspended ceiling already installed. And around on the Pilgrim Street side of the building, work is just about complete, where they used to have access to the side of the building, with just the last few remaining bits of coving and panels to install. Around at the North East Space Skills and Technology Centre on Ellison Place, we now have steelwork erected at the first core lift shaft, with prefabricated stairs waiting to be installed in the second lift shaft, which is now starting to take shape. And you can also see steel panels waiting to be installed on the steelwork for the floors when they are completed. Down at the Pilgrim Place development in Collier Square, looking across the site, a bit of progress has been made across the whole area, with the second core lift shaft progressing up to floor 4. And looking over the back corner of the site, the underground floors are starting to take shape, with some of the supporting steel beams now removed. And over the back of the site, beside the first crane, a lot of fresh concrete has just been poured. And down at the front of the site, you can see a lot more steel reinforcement sunk into the ground, with prefabricated steel cages waiting to be put into place. Up at the new students' accommodation on Leazes Park Road, the second core lift shaft is now progressing well, and as you can see, a lot more groundwork is still taking place. And as with all the other sites, they have a lot of prefabricated steel reinforcement on site ready to be put into place. A little further down, they have started work on the old building at the front, as I believe this is listed, that's why it was not demolished, along with the old furniture store. And down beside the building, they have some deep excavations going on. Down at St James's Metro, groundwork for the new advertisement boards is still ongoing, and if you look towards the back, past the orange digger, you can see some electrical work has been sunk into the ground. Across the road, at the new students' accommodation on St James's Boulevard, work round the back of the building is nearing completion, with still some cladding still waiting to be fitted along the bottom, along with a new brick wall which has been built. Around the front it's the same story, with just a few remaining bits of cladding to be fitted, and the supporting pillars are now covered in. Around at the new Students' Village complex at Castle Leazes, work to demolish the old student blocks is continuing, with piles of rubble from the first few blocks which were demolished still being sorted, with some being used to level off the ground, ready for the new village to be built. Across the other side of the site, one of the remaining student blocks has now been demolished since the last video, so there's only 3 blocks remaining now, with one of the remaining blocks still being gutted of its fixtures and fittings ready for demolition work to take place. And looking down, you can see the old doors, windows and timber being sorted, ready for recycling. Up at the site of the old General Hospital, work on the new Health and Innovation neighbourhood is continuing, with work at the front part mainly still consisting of ground preparation works. Round the back, the piles of rubble have got quite a bit bigger since the last video 2 weeks ago, with a lot more of the brick and concrete being crushed down. The land in the middle of the 2 blocks is now pretty much clear of all the rubble which was there the last time. Across towards the front, work is still ongoing to demolish the middle block, with piles of timber and other materials waiting to be taken away for recycling. With this view of the front part of the site, it gives you a better idea of what groundworks has been done so far, and coming back the other way, you can see what used to be the main block still waiting demolition. Now on to Northumberland Street, where the works to completely repave the whole street, which started in 2023, are still ongoing. These were supposed to be finished this summer, but news dropped this week that this will not be the case and should be completed by early 2026. Apparently they have hit snags along the way. As you can see by the picture, it might not look too bad with the trees and seating areas when complete. Looking at its current state, it still looks like a giant maze, with bits done here, bits done there, tarmac here, tarmac there and barriers everywhere. And now for a quick roundup of all the smaller projects going on in the city. Work on Pilgrim Street to complete the new pavement and cycleway is continuing. Staying on Pilgrim Street, work on the new high-end hotel at the former fire station. You can see work is still ongoing, with the only notable difference being the electric cables out of the walls. Round on Warsick Street at the former Warsick Chambers, work on the city's second stack venue is still ongoing, and I'm not quite so sure this will make its May opening date. And finally, back on Northumberland Street, where work on the new Lloyds Bank is nearing completion, with doors and windows and new panels appearing on the walls. So just before I wrap this video up, please let me know in the comments below what you think about all the projects going on in the city of Newcastle right now. And if you've liked the video, please give it a massive thumbs up, as it really helps my channel grow. And if you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. See you next time on 55 Degrees North.